Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I am Aldo 7 Aces, and that is my lovely companion Piper. Last week I told you all I would show you how to create a death cage for around 50 something gunners, and here's the culmination of my efforts. First you're going to want to make some soup, some squirrel stew, for whenever you do this, and along with 3 drugs. Very lovely things. Fairy Mentats, Psycho if you don't have it, and Psycho Jet, or Buff. I don't use Psycho Jet, but, because it can slow down your system and make it crash, which it does every single time I try to use Jet with this. But what you're going to want to do is eat your Mentats, use your 2 drugs, whatever, drink the squirrel stew, and equip an explosive weapon, preferably one that fires multiple projectiles. So, for those of you who aren't lucky enough to create legends or get legends to drop explosive weapons, this is a cheaper alternative. Well, not cheaper in terms of money, but in terms of time. And in Fallout, there's always tons of caps, so you could always get this. It's Spray and Pray, which you can find on Cricket, the wandering vendor. So, a pipe machine gun is also one of the best choices, because you can put the rapid frame on it, and it's just a beast, with firing the cheapest kind of round ever, 38. Also, if you don't have enough money for said weapon that I mentioned earlier, you could always use the broadsider. Oh man, my aim's a little bit off today. I just woke up. Let's see. Yeah, very fun. But you just have to be aware of the 3-shot reload. But the best weapon you could probably get from a drop, the explosive combat shotgun, is God tier. Ow, my arm. So, if you can get Idiot Savant to proc at any time during the Berry Mentat influence on your body, then you get a large amount of experience. Too bad I got it to trigger towards the very end. Otherwise I would have gotten plenty of XP to level up to probably 157. When I started this I was 156. Is that everyone? Is that everyone? But is that everyone? I didn't hear my turrets stop. They usually beep at the end of this. So let's check it. Any damage, any damage, any damage, any damage? The gate is closed. Yep, nobody got out. We're done. Alright, so before I can build, I must tear apart. So... it takes a while to restock all these supplies. If you want to store them, you even have to fix them first. So, of course, that's kind of logical. But this can become quite expensive in terms of materials and time whenever you restock on this. So if you're one of those people who uses the method of just waiting the entire time for something to come up, like a legend, or for a place's enemies to respawn, or whatever it is, this is one of the parts you can't avoid in terms of time consuming. I don't do that. I just tend to do my quests while I let this place stock up on gunners. So I don't remember how many cages I put in here, but it'll show up in a second whenever I start rebuilding. I hope I can rebuild it real quickly, so that this whole video clip captures it in one go. Let's check out what's next. That's 1/2. I'm just going to tear down all of these cages, not the floor. Right now, since I'm doing this, normally I would be taking the loot off the corpses to reset it for the next session, but since I'm just recording this, I don't really need, I have no need to loot them right now. I'm just tearing apart all of these cages, dear lord. Very time consuming. I probably won't tear down the walls either. I'll just tell you the dimensions of this and you just figure out how to make it fit inside of Starlight Drive-In. Come on, almost done. One more go. Alright, so the dimensions are 5. It is 5 by 18, which means you will need a total of 90 floor objects in order to completely seal this. So here's where it begins. Let's go up to the roof. So you'll need 90 floor objects, 90 roof objects, because you don't want any explosions, stray explosions like grenades or yada yada, or even just your explosions hitting anything outside of here. Usually the likelihood is little, but you want to prevent any terms of damage to your settlers. Unless you hate your settlers, then you'll want to deal as much brutal damage as possible. Moving on. I'm getting the basics out of the way. Of course, you know that you're going to need to cover it up entirely with shack flooring or concrete or whatever it is. But in order to build the cages, you can't have roofs firsthand. You have to start off by building the cages, and then you can put on a floor above them. It tends to mess things up. It's kind of weird, but you'll figure it out on your own. I'm going to talk about it, and you guys will figure it out, I'm pretty sure. You're smart people. Everyone in the internet's pretty smart now these days.
Now you could assume they got what they wanted and bolted. But given how creepy
put away the floors, put away the floors.
you can't help but wonder if something else happened.
We need something to base off.
We may never know for sure.
So you're gonna want
That's okay with me.
a base that is 9 by,
Billie Holiday.
I believe, no, 5 by 18. I'm an idiot. It is a total of 90. I'm just reminding you of the dimensions. This is not the funnest part, crafting and making things, but if you use berry mantats and intelligence equipment, you can make this go by quite swiftly for experience gain. I'm about to show you my gear that I have currently equipped. And then you guys can make the same setup yourselves. Okay, here we go. Whoa. So we're going to begin with first things first. You're going to want to make sure that your companions or your locals don't get inside of... They got this covered. Yep. You're going to want to make sure that nobody gets in to your little death zone. So you're going to want to use a powered door. Not like this. I don't use this kind. I use this kind. There we go. So if you can put the powered door... Oh dear. What's it doing? Oh, it's the other way around. You place a powered door. Alright, so next we build all the cages. Medium cages. And how many gunner cages do we got? 67? I don't think we use that many, but let's see about it. You want to make sure you can get at least 1 per square unit. So, here we go. We begin the fitting. I'm gonna make it all like... I'm not gonna try to make it perfect right now. I'm just gonna do this for demonstration purposes. There we go. Just rapidly tapping the X/A button Yes, this is completely legitimate. You can do this on console. You don't need to do it on a computer or anything. I mean, you could, but usually people just spawn in as many enemies they want if they want to level up. And even then, if they want to level up, they use the God command for just giving themselves another level. So, in terms of time consuming for just a level, yeah. I mean, if you got a computer, you can just use that command if you wanted to. But if those of you who want to do it legitimately, this is one of the ways you can do it. Versus some of the other XP exploits that I've seen out there, which are kind of crazy sometimes. And next, you want to make it a hallway. But before you do, you're gonna want to put a couple here. There we go. Yep. And the phase begins. So now, I know I said 2 hallways before, probably in the description of the last video, but I figured out a better shape to do would be a U, because if you're doing it down the length of 2 hallways and you go all the way down one hallway and then you waste time tracking back to the other one, to the other end and then going all the way down to that end, versus if they're just both connected at the end, you can choose to start off from either side. You can just, that's where your approach can be. So, you're going to make it 2 corridor-like directions along with a little U at the end. So, I already have the U shape right here. Yep, it's going to be kind of tight. There we go. There we go. Come on, fit, baby. What else is there? Now yes, it's a large amount of caps to do this. Copper as well, since I believe we have so far built, let me see, 67 minus the 18, yeah, 50. This is 50 right here. 50 gunner cages, that's going to be 500 times 50, oh that's 25,000 caps. I already had like probably around 80,000 when I did this, but it was quite powerful in terms of how much effort you need to put in to make all those caps. But hey, these guys pay for themselves eventually, especially if you use the market-related perks to invest in them and stuff. I haven't done that yet. I mean, I've always found it a waste, but because I already have such a large level of caps. But hey, 500 every time you go to a vendor and you have just a crap ton of spare gear, it stacks up. It really does. So you're gonna want to make these tight, but not too tight. Ugh, dear God, it's very bad here right now. Let's see how much more can we get his guy. Oh my gosh, stop. What are you doing, box? Okay, whatever. We'll put you right here. This is not the same as it was before, but I don't care. You can actually make it this much more, actually. So, yeah. Yeah, these 2 were here and here. So yeah, just it's just a little different look, but whatever. Since this door is not connected yet, here's a little trick. You can move things and move them back so that you can go through. I forgot something very important. Empty space here in the back, you don't want them crawling into there. As I said before, you're going to want to make the space between these cages a little bit tight. I mean, right now I'm not doing it perfectly, so yeah, this would almost be touching this practically. So if you can't, if you can put a concrete wall and it's still not touching the cages, then you probably did something wrong. Usually people, whenever they build settlements, they like to make a large like this, a large base, and then they start it off and it goes askew because they don't know that it's perpendicular or it's not perpendicular to whatever they're trying to make. So now